What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Layup Game, episode 140. It's been a while, but we are back. This is the Average Man's Perspective on Football. I am the co-host, Marcus. Joining me on the panel tonight is Herman. Say what up, Herman.
Hey. Oh, what?
He been working on it, boy.
Don't get excited. we don't know how much. I had to upgrade my system, so we'll see. Next up, we got Brian. Say what up, Brian.
Thanks for joining us.
They coming to see me. They coming to see the Temptations.
You Otis.
and last but never least, we got Mark. Say what up, Mark.
It's good to be back.
Was that me or was he slow?
Yeah, it seemed like he was a little delayed.
Okay.
6 years old. Damn. I'm sorry.
Before we get started, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe. So if you're watching on YouTube, we're also on Facebook and our Facebook group, The Layup Game. We're on Twitter, also known as X now, at The Layup Game 3.
It's just Twitter.
It is. Actually. And we're also on Instagram at the official The Layup Game. We did miss last week, but we are back. We had some good games this past week. Mark is hosting. Go ahead and start us off, Mark.
Thank you for checking us out tonight, you all. We're going to talk about some NFL news, get into some hot topics, review our picks from last week, talk about the picks for the upcoming games, then end with our final thoughts. So we're going to start it off with the news, and I'll throw it back to you, Marcus. What's your news?
So Bill Belichick signed a lucrative contract extension with the New England Patriots offseason, but questions remain about his future with the team amid a 2-7 start to the season. A Boston Globe report states that if it isn't a given Belichick finishes out the season, adding that Robert Kraft has already discussed the possibility of firing their head coach. The report asks if Patriots view Tennessee Titans Mike Babel as a home choice run to replace Bill Belichick. They also see Houston Texans general manager Nick Casario as another home run target to return to the front office.
So their offensive coordinator right now is not in the running?
Apparently not.
Mr. O'Brien, your favorite?
Please, no. You trying to win or you trying to keep losing? It might be time.
I mean, he had a decent record with the Texans. He just got crazy when they gave him control of drafting.
Yeah. It's time to move on from the Patriot way and find a new way. Yeah.
I might have to agree.
There you go, drinking on the show again, Mo.
It should still be the Patriots way.
You always say that, but it looks like vodka.
It's water. I don't drink, sir.
Okay. I'm just saying we might need to take you to one of them classes.
You don't need to. Not alcoholic.
Water out of the cup.
Man.
Right. Yeah, out of that cup. Why that cup? Yeah.
I don't want to wash this is the plastic cups I got. I don't want to wash dishes, so I drink out of plastic cups. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. You should buy a different type of cup. That cup is made for something specific.
Whatever.
Herman, give us our next news story.
Keep it saying stuff, okay?
The New York Jets are having one of the worst offensive seasons in franchise history, and the frustration seeped out Monday night after a dispiriting 27-6 loss to the Los Angeles Chargers at MetLife Stadium. Wide receiver Garrett Wilson and running back Breece Hall, the Jets' top playmakers, appeared annoyed by yet another no-show performance by the offense. Hall said, quote, "We all have to grow up and do our job," and Wilson echoed that sentiment. So was that directed at your boy Zach Wilson?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely was. But in Zach's defense, that offensive line is atrocious as well. So
That's true. So,
but I heard a good point this past week. As soon as Kirk Cousins went down, Minnesota made a play for Josh Dobbs. And like Aaron Rodgers went down, they didn't do anything. They just, they
were trying to imply that it was Aaron that didn't want them to do anything.
I'm sorry. Is Aaron the player or is he the coach in the front office?
He may be a part owner. It feels like because whatever he wants, he seems to get.
Yep. But that's what they get for rolling out Zach Wilson and acting like this dude was going to be able to win them games.
Mhm.
We know what Zach Wilson is. We've seen it already. Like,
Yeah, that's
What
why
is-
that's why you went.
And to be honest with you, Herman, it seems like a worse version of him this year than what we've seen before.
doesn't it?
But I think the whole thing that they invested into Aaron Rodgers, why it made it so they really couldn't really go after anybody else. I mean, who else would you put in there that you wouldn't have to give a whole lot of money to
Josh
take
Dobbs.
Yeah.
Dobbs wasn't on the block at the time.
And
Huh?
then
No, he was. Remember, they traded for him like a week or two before the season started. Well,
Yeah.
You're right. He wasn't on the block.
But the
You
thing
know,
you go ahead.
And then we know we had quarterbacks on the couch. I mean, Brian's about to speak about one of them. Could have signed
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Like you kick the tires on some of them because
Somebody.
we know what Zach Wilson. We know what Zach Wilson can do. You just know.
That's good. We shall see. All right, Brian, give us the next news story, please.
All right. Well, your favorite 30-year-old second pick in the 2016 draft with a record of 46-1, having played for the Eagles, Colts, and Commanders, Carson Wentz is back in the NFL, signing with the Los Angeles Rams yesterday. The Rams waived Brett Rippon on Tuesday after an abysmal performance against the Packers with the Packers. Head coach Sean McVay feels confident Matthew Stafford will be healthy enough to go after the bye. But if not, we get to see our favorite Prince Harry look-alike on the field again.
That story was so slanted and so fake news right there. It was so biased. We're gonna be doing news, not opinion, sir.
I'm sorry.
Biased. What?
I mean, it was newsworthy. That's all they were talking about. Oh, stop it. Like Cam Newton. No, sir. We seen it what he could do in New
You know
England.
what?
No, sir.
We already know what Cam
Hey,
is.
look, we do, but again, Cam might be a little Zach Wilson. With
Yeah.
Brees Hall back there running football.
Yeah.
You know, at this
I
point,
mean, what's sad is they're just wasting that defense that they got because
Exactly.
I mean, the Chargers got up to a big lead, but that was because their offense was so inept. But that defense was shutting the Chargers down.
Exactly. And I mean, when you think about it, it goes back to the beginning of the season. They were going all in, right? We knew they were going all in. They had traded for Aaron Rodgers. They should have got a veteran up in and just either got rid of Zach Wilson or made him third. But you had to know that just in case you did something veteran, man. You had to.
Yeah.
And he ain't the one.
But I think that was more Aaron's doing. No, I don't want nobody. You know, I don't want no competition. I don't want nobody behind me. I just want, just let that dude be there. He ain't going to play anyway. Because you notice they didn't do that really with the offensive line, too.
Yeah, and that was stupid, too.
Yeah. But if Aaron figured he, manipulate it and, get the ball out quick and do what he got to do. So that is true, Mark. That's true.
A couple guys got hurt kind of early in there, and that kind of shuffled things around. But I agree, they could have did more. For the offensive line.
Speaking of interceptions, what about he's with the
Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston.
Yeah, he's sitting back
right.
there and Saints. They could have went after him.
Yeah.
He'd have been
That's
way
what I'm
better than
saying,
Zach Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, because their defense would be good enough, they could overcome some of Jameis's interceptions if he was going interceptions.
To be honest with you, the Vikings should have probably hollered at Jameson.
Well, they look smart getting jobs. I mean, look what he did, and he didn't even have the playbook though.
I know, but look who they were playing.
Still, I mean, I thought they were going to go after Jameis too. There was a rumor on that, but it never materialized.
Okay, yeah, I hadn't heard even a peep about Jameis.
Yeah, maybe the Saints want too much for him.
Yeah, that might be true.
That could be it.
You should probably let Mark read his story.
Yeah, sorry, Mark.
The last news story we have: Tommy DeVito will get his first NFL start with the New York Giants in week number 10.
Did you say Danny?
Dallas Cowboys. What's that?
Did you say Danny DeVito?
No, Tommy DeVito.
Oh, okay.
Tommy DeVito. What I say against Dallas Cowboys on Sunday, DeVito gets the call to start for the 2-7 Giants after Daniel Jones tore his ACL during Sunday's loss to the Las Vegas Raiders. DeVito, a 25-year-old Illinois alumni, went 15 for 20 for 175 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions after ending the game. So we see where that leads to.
I'm definitely shaking in my boots. I'm gonna tell you it all right now. I'm glad we didn't have to pick that game.
Run.
Huh?
Because if he can't run, he's a total.
All right, so
All right, Mark,
we're
keep
gonna
the show
move on to we're gonna move on to this week's edition of Darian's Corner. Marcus,
We doing that first?
I guess so. We're not following the exact rundown.
that's what we normally do.
What's going on, Delay Game viewers? Welcome to another edition of Darian's Corner, man. And this week we're actually going to get into a pretty good chess match between Vic Fangio and Andy Reid. This game took place early on Sunday. If you guys don't remember, they were in Germany, so I'm not sure if everybody got a chance to see. So first thing we're going to do is getting into the offensive side of things a little bit. So we're going to see a 12 personnel trio type bunch set from Andy Reid's offense. I know that was a mouthful. So we're going to get first is your 1 running back in the backfield. You're going to get 1-2 wide receivers playing your number 1 in the bunch and your single side. Then you're going to get your 2 tight ends playing the number 2 point wide receiver in the bunch and your number 3 attached to the line. So what we're going to get from the concept a little bit is going to be a corner route here from your single side receiver. One good indication that his route will be going outside is that he's actually attached tight to the formation and he's at the top of the numbers rather than being at the bottom here. And then to the play side, what we're going to get is a slant route from our number 1. We're going to get a deep over route from our number 2 or the point man. And then we're going to get an 8-yard out from our number 3, who is the tight end attached to the line. And then we're going to get an option route here from our running back, Jerick McKinnon, which is basically going to isolate this linebacker. He's going to make a little move, and then he'll have the option to go to left or right. But in this case, he went right. So that will be how the concept ended up shaking out. So getting into the defensive side of things a little bit here. Put that cleared out for you guys in 1 second. There we go. So first thing we're going to see is that we are in a big nickel set. It's going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4 linemen, 1, 2 linebackers here. Then you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 defensive backs. In this case, we're going to be in a 4-3 stack set. So that extra defensive back is going to be playing your Sam linebacker to the strength of the formation. And then what we're going to get coverage-wise is a hybrid between a triangle man concept and a cover 2 man concept. So what that's going to give you is 1 safety up high playing over the top of your single side corner who's going to be locked out on this receiver here. But he's also going to be responsible for anything coming across the middle deep. Then what you're going to get is a rush from your end, rush from your tackle, rush from your tackle, rush from this end. You're going to get this safety playing linebacker is actually going to be manned on the point. Let's draw a little arrow for you guys here. You're going to have your corner manned on this receiver here with a small nuance that if he goes anything underneath, so slant route like I just showed you, drag route, anything like that, he would actually pass that off to this linebacker who's playing a middle read. You're going to have this linebacker manned up on Jerick McKinnon, who, like we said, is going to run an option route. And then we're going to have this safety manned up on our number 3. So getting into how things shaped out a little bit and why this concept confused the defense. If I get that cleared out, and we'll get that clip rolling for you guys. So first thing we'll see here is that safety carries our deep over route down the field, and now he is out of the concept. And that will get into the issue of why this play actually works so well against this triangle coverage is because, like we mentioned before, the first nuance is that if that number 1 receiver had did anything underneath, which he did, a slant route, this corner could actually pass him off to this linebacker here, but he fails to do that and actually tries to track him all the way across the field. Now, the issue that created is this linebacker also knows that he will have this corner in the flat, or he believes he does if he would have ran the coverage right. So what he's going to do is he's going to pass off this deep over route thinking he has a flat defender here. But what actually happens is we have this safety over here trying to play the deep or the slant route. We have this linebacker trying to play the slant route, and we have this extra defender also playing it. So you have 3 over 1. Then you're going to leave this running back free to run to the flat. And we'll see Pat Mahomes catches that one easy or makes that easy throw, and Jerick McKinnon just walks into the end zone for an easy touchdown. So one more time. We would have had a man buddy call with this running back. Anything coming across or underneath would have been picked up, passed by this linebacker, and then picked up by this corner had he been in his correct zone. But once again, we'll see all the attention goes here to this slant route, and that's going to leave Jerick McKinnon wide open for an easy touchdown. Now we'll get into the back angle again for you guys so you can just kind of see the eyes of the defenders and how that route actually played out. You can actually see Javon Holland talking to him a little bit here, like, come on, bro, you got to be in your zone. And he knows he messed up. Look at him. You can see by his body language. But getting into the back angle again here. So like we said, we're going to have this linebacker who was on a buddy man call. So he would have thought he could pass this over route or this option route over to the corner who's playing low in this flat. But again, the corner is going to try to trail that slant across. I'm not going to lie. I mean, McKinnon, that's a good move right there. Just a quick little 1-2 step move. And it gets him all the space that he needs. I mean, he's a quick enough back to where, as we see, you give him this much space and he's going to take that to the end zone every time. So, I mean, it wasn't a bad defensive call from Vic Fangio. Honestly, had the one cornerback just known his assignment and stayed in the flats, the linebacker really would have been able to just pass him off and help on that double on the slant. But Andy Reid, I mean, he drew up a good scheme, probably knowing the tendencies of the corners to mess that up. He probably caught that on film in another game where the Dolphins lost, possibly the Bills or something like that. So that's just a good example of how offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators that are on the level of a Fangio or a Reid can really know each other's tendencies, and they can use that to exploit each other. So thank y'all for tuning in this week, man. This was a pretty good episode of Darian's Corner. I appreciate y'all for watching, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch y'all again next week.
Cool. Thank you, Darian.
Very good. You know, I'm glad he got that back because I thought that Kelsey was in that play. I'm like, oh, they trying to triple team Kelsey. That's where the mistake was. But that wasn't even Kelsey. That was just a bad play on that corner.
You know, it's funny. Yeah, I used to say whenever you get that wide open, it means it's blown coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so we're going to get into our hot topics for this week. Our hot topic is, who are the two teams do you think are pretenders, and then who you think the two teams are real contenders? Herman, I'll let you start it out. Who's, first of all, the pretenders?
So my first pretender is the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo's 5-4 right now. They're second in the AFC East, but Buffalo is 1-3 on the road. They're 1-2 in the division, and they're 2-4 in their conference. So we know you got to win your division games, and conference games are important. And then you got to be able to go on the road and play and win. And you never know which Josh Allen you're going to get at this point. It can either be the supposed, quote, MVP candidate Josh Allen, or you're going to get the turnover machine Josh Allen, which is the one you're getting more of, it seems like. So Buffalo is my first pretender. My second pretender, I'm going to go with somebody out of the NFC South. So I try to do one AFC, one NFC. And I'm going to go with the Saints, believe it or not. I just don't believe in the Saints right now. They're just a little ugly to me. They're 5-4 and they're winning the division, but I mean, they got Atlanta and Tampa and Carolina in their division. 2-2 at home, 3-2 on the road, but they are 1-1 in the division and 2-2 in the conference. So I feel like they need to be a little bit stronger in the conference. And for their division to be sorry, they should probably be undefeated in it, in my opinion. So those are my pretenders: the Buffalo Bills and the New Orleans Saints.
So I had a good question. Who'd you pick to win the NFC South?
I don't remember.
I think you picked the Saints. I think we all picked the Saints. Because the team I think we all picked the Saints.
Yeah, we did. It was the Saints. You're right.
That still doesn't mean they're not pretenders.
But so right. My pretender,
they can win the division.
You know they didn't gonna make the playoffs.
They can win the division by
No.
default. Last year, Tampa Bay was a
Yeah.
pretender. They won the division, but they were pretenders. They weren't
Right.
going anywhere.
Okay, so what do
What
we
I
count
mean
as-
is
what do we count as pretenders though? Because I don't
playoff level. That
least-
doesn't mean they can't
at
make the
least
playoffs.
playoff.
It means that make the playoffs, but they won't do anything in the playoffs. That's what I'm calling a pretender. Like, they look like a playoff team. They probably will be in the playoffs, but they're gonna do nothing in the playoffs. So they're gonna be pretenders.
Okay.
So
I thought you were going to ask about the Bills, Marcus, because you like perked up when Herman said the Bills.
I mean, I'm giving you the numbers. 1-3 on the road with the Bills, 1-2 in the division, 2-4 in the conference. That's not very confidence inspiring to me. So, all right. My contenders, of course, the first contender is going to be, because they always are, no matter what they go through, is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs.
Huh?
There's
Okay.
That's a contender, man.
Okay. What
They're 7-2, 4-1 at home, 3-1 on the road, 2-1 in the division, 5-1 in the conference. 5-1 in the conference. Yeah, you want to win your division, and you want to be number one seed in your conference. My second contender, and I'm staying in the AFC because I don't think the NFC has truly any. I mean, the NFC is wide open. I don't care what the record. The NFC is wide open. So I'm going to give props to, and we haven't talked about this team. They've been kind of flying under the radar. Nobody's really talking that much about them. The Baltimore Ravens. And again, 7-2, 3-1 at home, 4-1 on the road, 2-1 in the division, and 4-2 in the conference. They can play on the road. They're winning in their division, and they're winning in their conference. I mean, and you saw what they just did to the Seahawks, who's supposed to be a contender in the NFC. They spanked them like little bad kids. So those are my pretenders and my contenders.
Lamar's like 17-1 against the NFC.
I didn't realize that, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah, they brought that up in the broadcast.
He's been dominating. All right, Brian, who's your pretenders and contenders?
So my pretenders are one of the teams we actually just finished talking about, which is Seattle. Seattle's actually currently sitting second. They were first until the Ravens spanked them and gave San Francisco back control of the division. Seattle was a team last year that nobody saw coming, but I think this year they do see you coming. Geno's not the same Geno as he was this year, so I don't think they're going to get too far, and I honestly don't see them making the playoffs. My other pretender is Miami, and Miami is this Jekyll and Hyde team that can only seem to beat up and dominate teams that are not winners. Whenever they play a team to their competition, they have not stood up yet. So my other pretender is going to be Miami, in spite of how bad the Bills are playing too. My contenders.
You got Miami as a pretender. They have a better conference record and a better division record and a better road record.
Who did they play? Let's go over the teams they played. Let's go over the teams they played. I didn't say Buffalo. I didn't say Buffalo was a contender, but I think that Miami is a pretender. What is Miami ranked right now in the division?
They're 2-1.
What are they ranked though? What's they're number one.
Miami's number one in the division.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they're going to stay there. I don't think they're going to stay there.
Who's going to catch them?
I think Buffalo's going to catch them. I think Buffalo's a better team.
I think the Jets will pass Buffalo at some point.
You're nuts. You're nuts. Well, if that's the case, then I think New England's going to pass them all. Then, since we just throw stuff out there.
That means you think Aaron Rodgers is coming back? If you think,
basically, yeah.
He said he's coming back in a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and my two contenders is actually in a different. It was. I should have changed this, but I did this last week when we were going to do this. But it was the Saints. I'm sorry, it was the Saints and the Jets, and this was before last week. But they're both pretenders. Yeah, I thought the Jets were going to. we're going to do it with smoke and mirrors and get in there and then maybe see what Aaron Rodgers can do. But, but that's who I pick, so I ain't changing.
Marcus.
So Brian stole my thunder. As far as my number one pretender, it's the Dolphins. Okay, the Dolphins.
Haters.
No, we haters. I was looking for them to beat the brakes off the Chiefs. I picked Dolphins, look what they did. So listen, the Dolphins are 0-3 against teams with winning records, averaging 17 points per game. Again, they're 6-0 against teams with losing records, averaging 39 points per game. If that is not the definition of fake, then I don't know what it is. So this song is.
I don't buy that. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that winning records, losing records stuff. No,
they're absolutely fake.
Not to mention, it's just getting colder and colder. So good luck, Miami.
They haven't beat anybody with a winning record. Nope. They haven't shown anything to say that they're going to beat anybody with a winning record.
And Buffalo spanked them, just for the record.
And so
Buffalo spanked them.
So also how I'm defining fake is.
Wait! Stop. Let me stop you real quick.
What?
Buffalo has only beat teams.
They beat Miami.
They beat Miami and the Jags. But Buffalo ain't beat nobody either. They beat
That's two teams that Miami has not beat.
They beat the Raiders, the Commanders, the Giants, and the Bucks.
Okay. So they only had two teams, but the two teams they had that was competition beat them.
So you're not understanding the word pretender.
They did, but that was because they were sure that Aaron Rodgers wasn't playing.
They're the Patriots.
They're ranked number one, and they haven't beat anybody.
Yep.
And they can't beat good teams. They can't beat good teams. They're 0-3.
They lost to the good teams.
Yep.
They're 0-3 against good teams. They're definitely fake. And so how I'm defining fake is if the playoffs started right now, who would be in the playoffs and who probably wouldn't be there. So my next one, and I'm sorry, Mark, but I might have to go.
I knew you was going there. Go ahead. I knew it.
If the playoffs started right now, the Steelers would be in the playoffs. And it's just, and the only reason I say that, I have extreme faith in Mike Tomlin. I have extreme faith in the defense. But Matt Canada and Kenny Pickett are garbage. So
Little Hands Kenny.
So I don't see them being, if they make it, they'll probably get eliminated the first round. Sorry, Mark.
The Steelers have better wins than Buffalo. Come on, man. Dude. They beat the Ravens. They beat the Browns. Those are the two.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
But their offense is terrible, and they listen. They have a winning record, but their overall, I think they would say their overall score, they're losing in the overall. Like they have a losing. I mean, what's the points scored against them is higher than the points they've scored, but they have a winning record.
But they got a winning record. That's odd.
And I mean, but Herman, you got to go by the competition that he has too. Do you think that the Steelers are going to hang with either the Bengals or the Ravens for that division?
Well, they beat the Ravens already, so they have to play the Ravens in the playoffs.
Okay, so you think they're going to be Cincinnati? You think they're going to be Cincinnati?
No.
You
Okay.
think they're going to beat the Ravens again?
They possibly could. I wouldn't put nothing past them.
A third time in the playoffs?
Hey, you don't want to play a Division 4 in your playoffs. You don't.
Well, I don't know. I have a lot of faith in the other teams that are right now in the playoffs. And so, for my fakes, for my contenders, that's a hard one. So I would have to say, I'm going to go against you guys. I'm going to say the Bills. Because right now,
God, are you serious right now?
Right now, they're on the bubble. If the playoffs started today, they wouldn't be in it. But they're
having a fit.
But they're on the bubble.
Herman got this hate for Josh.
No,
you remember a couple years ago, Mark. You remember we was all on the Josh, and Herman was the only hater.
I know.
He could have picked any contender but Buffalo. I'm sorry, no way. Go on.
All right, you know what, Herman? Just for you, and after just looking, I'm going to change that pick. I'm going to say. I'm going to say the Texans. That's a better
contenders.
Yes, they're on the bubble. They're CJ.
You know, it's his definition is to make the playoffs. His definition is to make the playoffs.
Okay.
and they're
And
on
in the
the bubble.
South, they could make the playoffs. They can
And
make the playoffs.
right now they're number 9 behind the Bills. So if anybody, CJ Stroud is doing a hella good this season. The coach is a good coach. If they don't make the playoffs this season, I expect them to progress and make it next year. I think they're actually in a very good situation. They have their coach, they have their quarterback. So I'm going to say that the Texans are the contender. So you guys are going to hate me for this, and I can't believe I'm saying it myself. But looking at this right now, the Commanders are number 8. So I'm going to say that the Commanders
Bye.
are a contender. Sam Howell,
Hermit, could you please read the Commanders' wins
Herman,
and
you
losses
make
this
you make
season?
sense of this.
can I finish? Can I please
Herman.
finish?
Herman,
Yes.
you down in Pittsburgh.
Finish.
The
Can I
Commanders.
please finish?
You
And
you believe that?
They
Go ahead and finish, Marcus. Go ahead.
They weren't going to be my contender, but if you, I'm looking at the playoff picture. They're as far as the NFC goes, they're number 8. They're top of the bubble. So that's how I'm defining. So Sam Howell, he leads the league in sacks, but he also leads the league. He's second behind. He's second in yards. I mean, it is what it is. Yes, they are 4 and 5, but they're number 8 right now. If the playoffs start right now to be number 8.
0-3 in the division.
They ain't beat
0-3
nobody.
in the division.
By what's on the list?
2-4 in the conference.
Right now, they are number 8.
Man, I put my money on
Have you
Minnesota
looked at
before I
the
put my
upcoming
money on the
schedule?
Commanders.
Look at the upcoming schedule.
We're going by today, okay? We go.
No, because you're talking about the playoffs, so you have to go further into
We're not
history.
going by- who knows what's going to happen? Any given Sunday. All I'm saying right now, they're number 8.
Well, so far the last few Sundays ain't been good for you. That's all I'm
They
saying.
won last week.
So,
Okay.
They
ladies
did.
and gentlemen,
They did.
we just want to apologize because Marcus confused outrageous predictions.
Check the cup.
I'm
Check the
going
cup.
by what's on the list. Right now, they're number 8. That's
Okay.
the vote. Okay.
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 All right.
I
Mark,
didn't say
can you
contenders.
get us back to
We're not saying
some
contenders to win the Super
sensibility?
Bowl, right? We're saying contenders to make the playoffs. Is that
Okay.
what,
So who are they jumping to get in the playoffs?
who did I say was? Well, both of y'all said the Seahawks were fake. Both of y'all said the Saints were fake. So what in it?
You
Well, the
think
Saints
that
are gonna win
you
the
think the Seahawks and the Saints are going to have a worse record than Washington? That's what you think.
I'm going with what you guys said. You guys said they were fake.
I'm asking you a question.
I don't know.
You do know. You do know. You definitely
Mark, can
know.
we please get to back to some normalcy? Something.
Okay.
They're
All right.
number
Mind
8.
blowing.
They're number
My
8.
my pretenders, starting out with, and you guys might have a problem with this one too. My first pretenders are the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are 6-2. They have played and beaten some decent teams. They beat Buffalo.
They
They beat Pittsburgh. They beat the Saints. Looking at their upcoming schedule, they have the 49ers, Houston, Tennessee, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Baltimore. I don't see them really dominating any other teams coming up. Just coming up now. So I think the pretenders are the Jacksonville Jaguars, in my opinion. That's my opinion, man. The other team that I'll say is the pretender, I'm going to have to agree with Brian and Marcus. That is the Miami Dolphins. They cannot beat a winning team. They only beat up on chump teams.
Oh, y'all
Until they
are
can prove that.
haters.
I can't say that they gonna be there right now. I can't. They haven't beaten anybody yet, man. Up to a good quality team yet. Not yet. That's what I'm saying.
And
Now.
they couldn't beat the Kansas City Chiefs. They shut out in the whole second half of that game.
Yeah.
True. So my contenders are
The Dallas Cowboys.
the Detroit Lions. I think the Lions. Look at the division. You got the Kirk Cousins gone in Minnesota, even though they got Dobbs. You look at Green Bay, who Jordan Love is not playing well at all, and you got the Chicago Bears. I mean, their schedule is favoring them big time. They got Chicago, they got Green Bay, they got New Orleans, they got the Chargers, they got Denver. The only team they got that could possibly give them some trouble is Dallas, and that's late in December. That's it. Everybody else, they gonna roll in that division. They might end up with the number one seed in NFC before it's all over with.
Mark my words. Minnesota is going to catch and pass Detroit.
You're crazy.
Okay.
You're on some type of drugs.
That's my number one. That's the number one contender. My second contender is, guys will believe this or not, and that's the Cincinnati Bengals. They're doing exactly what they were doing a couple of years back, where they getting hot at the right time towards the beginning of December and rolling from there. Look out for them Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
How are you labeling contenders the teams that are expected to make the playoffs anyway?
Well, he means like a contender too, like to take it all the way.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
Detroit still has to play the Vikings twice.
Yes.
Herman,
they got to play the Chargers.
What do you want? Did you think Josh Dobbs is some type of savior?
Watch.
He was on nobody's team. They didn't pick him up to the end.
Watch.
Oh my God, Herman, just one couple magical plays. Stop.
Mark the episode.
Herman, you are waiting. Stop, Herman.
Marcus, hit the
Herman, you're falling off the pedestal, sir. You are falling off the pedestal. If you are on the Josh Dobbs and not Josh Allen bandwagon, stop it.
If Marcus can pick the Commanders as a contender,
no.
Oh, you better believe.
Marcus is here for comic relief. We actually listen to the stuff you say.
I'm being dead serious.
Herman,
listen to me. Detroit has to play at the Chargers. Okay,
they'll win that.
They have to play.
Come on, Herman. You already know they're gonna beat them.
They'll win that.
They got to play at the Saints. They're not win that. They got to go. They got to go see Chicago, and that's in December. That's gonna be ugly. And then they got Minnesota twice and Dallas.
They'll win both of those.
Watch and mark my words. Minnesota is going to overtake Detroit for the division. Watch.
You're crazy.
Watch.
Once again, who did Josh Dobbs beat again? Who?
At the end of the season. At the end of the season, y'all gonna be like, oh man. Watch. Mark him. Mark the words.
I'm gonna be saying, oh man, but on how disappointed I am with you in this take.
Mark the words.
Detroit is gonna cakewalk that division. Okay,
no, Detroit's not.
They're going to cakewalk that division.
They might mess around and get the number one seed in the NFC. That's all I
got. It is actually possible. It is actually possible.
That's all I'm saying.
Wait. Detroit has one quality win, and that's against the Chiefs. They beat the Falcons, they beat the Packers, they beat the Panthers, they beat the Bucks, and they beat the Raiders. They ain't beat nobody either. They ain't beat nobody.
Can I say this? They're doing what they're supposed to do with their schedule they're given. That's what they're
okay, now wait a minute. So
that's what they're supposed to do.
Why doesn't that count for Miami then? Why doesn't that count for Miami then?
Miami ain't putting up 70 points on bad. Detroit ain't putting up 70 points on bad teams and expected to.
You cannot. No, don't be a talking head like Speaks and all these other shows. Okay, y'all want to talk about who they ain't beat nobody. Detroit
they beat Kansas City. They beat the world champ.
Herman, they did beat somebody. They beat Kansas City.
In Kansas City.
They beat Kansas City. Miami beat nobody.
One winning team.
No winning teams. One is bigger than zero the last time I checked.
So it's the same. They're the same team.
You play to win the game.
Yeah, you play and who you can on your schedule. So mark the words. Detroit will not win the division.
Mark is right. Detroit might very well walk away with the number one seed in the NFC.
That's gonna happen. The Eagles might pull that one off and all.
I mean, you go on this Josh Dobbs bandwagon. Who does he beat?
The Cowboys.
It's a team game, first of all. He did beat the Cowboys.
But you thinking that Josh Dobbs, but you weren't on this bandwagon where Kirk Cousins was there, but now Josh Dobbs, the astronaut.
Exactly. I picked Minnesota to win the division. What are you talking about?
I don't think you did.
I picked Minnesota to win the division.
I think you picked the Lions.
I didn't.
All right. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I picked Minnesota.
It's all on tape, Herman. We can go back and look.
We can go back and look.
you way more confident after they lost their starting quarterback. Who does that? Who
Yeah.
does that?
You know
They
why?
started quarterback and their number one receiver.
Hey,
Josh
yes,
Dobbs
that is
brings
number-
Josh Dobbs. The number one receiver will be back, and
He
Josh
will.
Dobbs brings an element that Kirk Cousins did not have, and that's the mobility and the ability to run.
Hey, Marcus, we
Kirk
worried about
run.
what you drinking. I want to know what he's smoking up there. But anyway,
I cannot watch. Just
Say,
wait
hey, I'll be
and
before
watch.
the show.
let's get
Just
back
wait
on the
and watch.
show, fellas.
Yeah, just wait and watch.
All right.
Oh
So,
my
hey, so-
God! Stop the press.
Dobbs is not better than Cousins.
Oh my God!
That's why he's been on 6 teams in the last 6 years. Come on, bro.
Right.
Cousins been on.
I ain't said that much. All I'm saying is he's gonna bring a dynamic to the team that Kirk Cousins didn't have. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Cousins been on two
interceptions.
teams-
You're
Cousins
gonna bring
on-
interceptions to the team.
Y'all gonna be. I
can't
can't
wait.
wait. Y'all gonna be like.
I can't wait till we
wow.
review this towards the end of the season.
Interceptions and fumbles. That's what he's gonna bring to the
Cannot
team.
Anyway, hey, let's get back to the show.
Yeah, because
So,
we gonna run out.
We're gonna talk about our picks for last week's games. The first game on tap was one of the games that I thoroughly enjoyed. The Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Tennessee Titans. Pittsburgh won it 20-16. And yes, I picked Steelers on this particular game. The stats for the game for Tennessee: Will Levis, 22-39, 262 yards, 1 interception. Derrick Henry, 17 carries, 75 yards, 1 touchdown. Kyle Phillips, 4 catches, 68 yards. For the Steelers, you had Kenny Littlehan Pickett, 19 for 30, 160 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Jalen Warren, 11 rushes for 88 yards. And you had Dante Johnson, 7 catches for 90 yards and 1 touchdown. Marcus, I'll let you start this off for you. Who did you have in this game, sir?
I picked the Steelers. I thought Will Levis, his first week starting, it was great. I think he threw 4 touchdowns. But I just had a feeling the home game for the Steelers, and no matter what, he's still a rookie quarterback. Like I said, always have faith in Mike Tomlin in that defense, and J.J. Watt is a beast. So I did pick the Steelers. My only complaint about this game is
Who was a beast?
T.J. Watt.
Okay.
You sound like you said JJ at first.
It sound like JJ, but
I said TJ.
okay.
Well, my only complaint about this game is I can't remember who calls Thursday night games. Is it that
Al Michaels and
Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit.
yeah.
they should have just went down the field and tongue kissed Will Levis the way they just ride this. I mean, dude, he played. Listen, he played 1 game. Come on, he wasn't even highly drafted, and they were just on like he was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Because the week before he threw 4 touchdowns. Calm down. I need to chill out. But yeah, I picked the Steelers, and the Steelers did win. So
Herman, who did you
Vince
have?
Marcus, this game wasn't that exciting, so they had to talk about something.
Yeah, I picked the Steelers in this one also. But I mean, Will Levis, he's playing some pretty good football for a rookie. I would say that I would lower his attempts. He's at like 40, almost 40 attempts. I think that's too much for him. But he sacked 4 times, so he wasn't getting a whole lot of help from that offensive line. Get Derrick Henry more carries. Derrick Henry should carry the ball 20 times a game at least. He only had 17 carries. So I picked the Steelers, and I did get this one right. Pittsburgh just does what Pittsburgh does. It's just painful watching that Pittsburgh offense, though. My God, what's his name?
Matt Canada.
Matt Canada, man. That's all. Man, it's just hard watching that offense.
and then watching the game, how they were making excuses for Matt Canada. It's like Kirk Herbstreit, and they were just making excuses. I was like, why y'all making all these dog excuses? Like, he likes to play this type of way. Blah, blah. Oh, man, shut up. This ain't no game. This ain't how you win no game.
Yeah, I chose the Steelers in this one too, man. The Steelers got their first first drive of the start for the season with a 10-play, 78-yard drive. They capped it off with a Najee Harris run. So I was happy with that. They finally got it. And something else they did different too was they brought Matt Canada from out of the booth and on the sidelines to help coach him, help get him along. That's good. But the Steelers' running game was on point. Jalen Warren and Harris, they combined for 157 yards rushing totally, which was good. But I mean, you talk about Will Levis, he was poised back there, despite their loss. And before they even announced it, I thought that even with Tannehill being out, I was like, man, I wouldn't even give Tannehill his job back. They announced that they're going to continue with Will Levis when Tannehill come back. So I thought that was good. But he played, like I said, he played good as a rookie. He really did. He showed some poise in there. But I took the Steelers, and the Steelers was victorious. Brian, who'd you have in this one?
Well, I'm glad that we put these picks on the website and didn't have it on the show, because I would be wearing a hat right now. but I'm not, because I did pick Tennessee.
You still got to wear the hat, sir.
No. So I would have possibly I overthunk about how good Will Levis was going to be. And Mark kind of stole my thunder. Pittsburgh did find their running game finally, 166 yards on 30 attempts. And, of course, the Steelers' defense stepped up too, man. They had 5 sacks, and they did get a pick from Levis. Very boring game, but I picked it wrong.
Thank you, Brian. I'm glad you did.
Stop playing that music. I told you I ain't wearing no hat.
All right, the next game we have was a snoozer. You had the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens won it 37-3. The stats in this particular game: Seattle, Geno Smith, 13 for 28, 157 yards, 1 interception. Kenneth Walker, the third, 9 carries for 16 yards. Leading receiver, Jackson Smith Jahigmo, 6 carries, 63 yards. 6 receptions, 63 yards. For the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, 21 for 26, 187 yards. Keaton Mitchell, 9 carries, 138 yards rushing, 1 touchdown. Mark Andrews, 9 catches, 90 yards, no touchdowns. Herman, who did you have in this one?
Yeah, I went with the Ravens in this one. Like you said, a snooze fest, wasn't even close. Seattle had no run game. Kenneth Walker, 9 carries for 16 yards. That's not going to get it. And it feels like, and maybe it's just this game. I haven't really watched a whole lot of Seattle, but it seems like Seattle, when it comes to their receivers, they don't know who they kind of want to feature. Like Metcalf had 1 target for 50 yards. Tyler Lockett 3. I mean, they just, their whole offense was crap, I guess, this game. Geno was sacked 4 times. Baltimore's defense really gave it to them, but I picked the Ravens, and I did get this one right.
Brian, who did you have in this one?
Yeah, I was with Herman on this one. I also went with the Ravens, man, and the Ravens dominated this game in all facets. They held time of possession 40 minutes and 4 seconds to 19 minutes and 56 seconds for the Seahawks. Wow. They had 515 offensive yards. The Seahawks had 151. And like Herman said, they gave up 4 sacks. He threw a pick, and they lost a fumble. This game was abysmal, but I picked the Ravens. I picked it right.
Yeah, this one too. I took the Ravens too, man. The Ravens came into Week 9 ranked the number 2 in yards allowed per game and number 1 in scoring defense. It showed against Seattle for sure. Seattle only had 89 yards total in the first half, 151 yards total for the game on offense. Seattle's too talented for that, to be honest with you. They're talented. But this game with Geno, he couldn't. I mean, he can throw the ball, but he just couldn't against the Ravens. Shout out go out to the kid Mitchell that was running the ball. He's an undrafted rookie. He had 0 touches before this game, and he went wild today. So they might have found him a future star with that running back. But I took the Ravens also, and they were victorious. Marcus, who did you have in this one?
I picked the Ravens, and this is the kind of game that Jim Harbaugh wants for the Ravens. And I'm not saying he can't do it, where Lamar doesn't have to shoulder the team and do all the work himself. Pretty much doesn't have to do a whole lot. Like I said, 21-26, 187 yards. That's a great game when you start quarterback. You don't have to worry about getting hurt or nothing. When you start quarterback, just relax and chill and let the rest of the team do what they do. So all around, it was a great win for the Ravens, and they smoked the Seattle, and Lamar just seems to own the NFC. So I picked the Ravens, and the Ravens won.
I know they put it on cruise control by the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we gonna get into the next game. Moving along. This one was played in Frankfurt, Germany. We had the Miami Dolphins taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs won it 21-14. What?
Mark is talking about the Dolphins are fake.
They won it 21-14. The stats in this particular game, you had Tua 21 for 34, 193 yards, one touchdown. Raheem Mostert, 12 carries for 85 yards and one touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 8 catches for 62 yards, 0 touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, 20 for 30, 185 yards, 2 touchdowns. Isaac Pacheco, 18 carries for 66 yards. And Noah Gray, 3 catches for 34 yards. Brian, who did you have in this game?
In this particular game, I did go with the Dolphins. And I don't know why, because I shouldn't have. Yeah, it was dumb. Statistically, the game was real close. The Dolphins had 292 yards of offense. The Chiefs had 267. The Dolphins gave up 3 sacks. The Chiefs gave up 2. Time of possession was close, 30 minutes and 24 seconds for the Dolphins, 29 minutes and 36 seconds for the Chiefs. But the Chiefs put up the points that they had to, and when the Dolphins needed to score, Tua fumbled up the ball. So I picked wrong. I told you about that music.
Well, Brian,
Did you lone wolf that?
I don't know. I ain't wearing no hat.
no, he didn't. He didn't. I took. Hey, Brian, I was with you, man. I took the Dolphins too. The Chiefs jumped up to the 21-0. You finish?
Yes, I'm finished.
Thank
I'm finished. Go ahead.
The Chiefs took a 21-0 lead into halftime, but the Dolphins came back and scored 14 unanswered points, and they made it a little game at towards the end. But the star of this one was their coordinator for the Chiefs. When he put hands on Tyreek and the coverages that he put on it, it made it. The schemes were tough for Hill to really get loose and get wild on there. So hats goes off to him. But I took the Dolphins on this one too, Brian, and I didn't get it.
Maybe we should go back with no sound effects.
I won them. We got them back now.
Herman, who did you have in this one?
Yeah, as much as I believe in the Dolphins as a true contender, I did pick the Chiefs in this. Mahomes had 9 different receivers catching balls. This Chiefs team they know how to win. They find different ways to win. They're not that team that we were used to. They were just blowing people out before, and that's probably because of the loss of Tyreek. But they've adapted. Like I said, 9 different receivers caught the ball for Patrick Mahomes, and they decent enough running game. I'd like to see him get a little bit more running game, but some of their short pass stuff is their run game also. So the lack of carries, it doesn't really concern that much. But I picked the Chiefs in this one, and I got it right. Like I said, the Chiefs they just know how to win.
You brought up a good point too, because Kelsey didn't have a good game at all.
He didn't.
And they said 9 different receivers, and they still won.
And that's because Taylor Swift wasn't there. So
Kelsey had like 3 receptions and for 14 yards. So yeah, they just they spread the ball around. They're not super reliant on one person. So
All right, Marcus, who did you have in this one?
You know,
Ding, 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 ding.
I also picked the Chiefs.
That's my sound effect.
For Tyreek Hill to talk all that mess, and then he fumbles with the ball and they score on defense.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me point this out real quick. That was a terrific hit.
Yeah.
The gentleman that hit him and the one that picked it up and scored were both players acquired from Tyreek Hill's trade. Both of them were.
were they? Oh, that's funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But that was a perfect hit. That was good.
So,
Go ahead, Marcus.
so you are a great receiver, Tyreek. Maybe next time you keep your mouth shut because you are dealing with a Super Bowl winning team. Okay, but it was a game of halves. So the Chiefs scored all their points in the first half, and Miami scored all their points in the second half. And it's just, I don't know. I guess Herman's right there. The Chiefs are winning in different ways, but it's not the Chiefs we used to seeing. But I would feel more confident for a Super Bowl repeat if they get this offense together because the offense really isn't clicking. Defense is great.
The defense is, which is surprising.
Yeah, but if we get that offense to get back to what it's used to and match the defense, I would feel more confident in a repeating Super Bowl. Right now, I'm still saying yes, but I'm not as confident. But I did pick the Chiefs, and the Chiefs win.
Don't play no music.
Lord, we gotta speed this up. We got 3 more minutes left of the show.
Next game we have the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles won it 28-23. In this particular game, you had Dak Prescott 29 for 44 for 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Tony Pollard 12 carries, 51 yards. CeeDee Lamb 11 catches, 191 yards, no touchdowns. Jalen Hurts 17 for 23, 207 yards, 2 touchdowns. DeAndre Swift 18 carries for 43 yards. And A.J. Brown 7 receptions for 66 yards and 1 touchdown. Marcus, I'll let you take this one first. Who did you have in this game?
I picked the Eagles, and this was actually it was a pretty good game. But the Eagles did everything they want. They tried to get this game away. I mean, they really got to get their defense together. The Commanders put up points on them last week. The Cowboys put up points on this week. The Eagles should feel lucky they came away with a win. To be honest with you, for all this talk about their defense, their secondary is garbage. It's trash, and they got to get them penalties together. I mean, they practically gave this game away to the Cowboys, and there was no point. I felt like this game was going to come down whoever had the ball last, and the Cowboys should have won this game, and the Eagles should be very nervous. It might be a different result when they play in Dallas, and they probably don't want to see Dallas in the playoffs. Eagles, they only lost 1 game, and they just managed to win games, but they should be very nervous about the Cowboys. I'll put it that way. But I did pick the Eagles, and they won.
On this one, I took the Eagles also. The Cowboys was very aggressive, especially in the first half. They were going for it. 15-yard in-cut and 4th and 1 was a good play, a good call. But the Eagles basically did things a little bit better than the Cowboys. Dak taking a sack with the final possession, at time losing the yards, was not a smart play compared to Jalen Hurts being not sacked on the play and being able, to run around and get away with a hampered knee. But like I said, Cowboys just didn't do a couple of things just not quite right. And the Eagles did, and that's what made a difference. But you're right. I think the Cowboys, given if they could have saved some more at that time, they very well could have came out victorious in this game. If they could have,
they definitely would have scored. If it wasn't for that sack, they definitely would have scored. Definitely.
Well, let's even go the play with the what's his name, Schoonamaker. If you look at that catch, technically the rule is you've got to have the possession through the whole catch. Well, they marked him down before his body even hit the ground. So to me, that really wasn't a catch. By the time he had possession of the ball and fell in, he was on the goal line. That's a touchdown. So by rule, it's so-called he didn't continue with the catch, but they didn't allow him to do it because it was close to the goal line. But
by rule,
was a
you
touchdown.
can't tackle a guy
Thank
before
you.
he catches the damn
Thank
ball.
you.
That's where the whole problem falls.
He
Yeah.
didn't secure the catch yet. He didn't make the catch
Yeah,
yet.
and he was already
No,
being
but he was
tackled.
getting tackled before the ball even got there. Should have been a penalty thrown on the DB.
So technically, that would have been a touchdown for you all. That should have been. It should have been a touchdown. I gave you that one. That would have changed that whole scenario towards the end. But it's a nice effort for you guys. But I took the Eagles, and the Eagles won it. Brian, who did you have in this one?
I had the Cowboys, of course, in this particular game, and the Cowboys put up 406 yards of offense on 70 plays. The defense did get 3 sacks in this game on Jalen. And the Eagles' offense and their defense is a mash unit after this game. Corners, tight ends, quarterbacks, they all was going out of this game. I think we even got a couple offensive linemen, so they might have won the battle, but they definitely didn't win the war.
All right, Herman, who'd you have in this?
Yeah, of course, the Cowboys. Biggest problem with Dallas for this game was our right tackle. Terrence Steele was he was a turnstile. He literally gave up, I think, 4 of Dak's sacks. And he gave up that 1 sack that you were talking about at the end, Mark, where you said, and Dak really didn't have a choice. If he had tried to throw it away, he might have got grounding or he could have threw a pick. So he just ate the sack. But when your right tackle is a turnstile, again, it just – and I got to put a little bit on the coaches because, you saw it for 2 quarters. Sam should have been helping. Should have had a tight end over there to chip something. Should have got some help. But instead, you want to keep rolling out your right tackle and letting it get destroyed by Hassan Reddick. And, that was probably – I think that was really the biggest effect of the game and affected Dallas of winning the game. Officiating was bad, just point blank period. But I'm not going to sit up here and just blame the refs, even though you could, because the officiating was bad. Some of it might have evened out, but it was a little bit more lopsided, bad against Dallas than it was against the Eagles. But like Marcus said, Dallas is not scared of Philly. Next game is in Dallas, and if we see them in the playoffs, that game is not even a confidence builder. Real quick, we wrap it up. Dallas already goes into Philly with confidence, thinking they can win because they know they can. Even though they didn't win that game, they know they outplayed Philly. So moving forward, that's what it's going to be the rest of the season. So I picked the Cowboys. I did get that wrong.
So real quick question: when they got the delay of game at the end, why come it wasn't a 10 second? I thought it was a 10-second runoff.
Yeah, I was curious about that too. I thought that too, but they didn't do it.
No, not a delay of game penalty. Those are usually false starts.
Oh, is it false starts? Okay.
Yeah, usually false starts are 10-second runoffs. Yeah.
And Dak, I'm gonna need for you to make your feet a little smaller. Get in on the 2-point conversion.
It's a big boy.
He is a big boy. He's a big boy.
He don't turn on.
I'm gonna need you to get some smaller Jordans. Tighten them toes up or something.
All right, so moving on to the next game, we have the Buffalo Bills taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals won it.
The Bengals are not a pretender.
24-18. The stats in this particular game. You got Josh Allen, 26 for 38, 258 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. You had Josh Allen, the leading rusher, 8 carries for 44 yards and 1 touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 6 catches, 86 yards, 1 touchdown. For the Bengals, Joe Burrow, 31 for 44, 348 yards, 2 touchdowns. Joe Mixon, 4 carries, 37 yards, 1 touchdown. T. Higgins, 8 catches, 110 yards for 0 touchdowns. On this particular game, I took the Bengals on this one, and I was right. Joe Burrows is healthy now, and his awareness and ability and maneuvers in the pocket is what actually bought him more extra time. The Bengals really never used their tight ends all season. Pretty much this game, they caught 10 catches. So he was throwing to his tight ends big time on this particular game. The Bills offense, I mean, they had no life in the fourth quarter. But it was just too little too late for them to try to come back on it. The injuries in the secondary pretty much kind of did the Bills in too. But I took Cincinnati, and they were successful in this one. Brian, who did you have in this one?
Yeah, I was with you, Mark. I went with Cincinnati as well, man. Cincinnati lit it up. 397 yards on 67 plays, held time of possession, 36 minutes to 23 minutes. The Bills did get one sack. But I'm sorry, the Bills did allow a sack, and they allowed a pick. So I picked the Bengals. I picked this one right.
Marcus, who did you have in this one?
He also picked the Bengals. I didn't have much faith in the Bills going into this game, and Joe Burrow appears to be back, so I thought it was an obvious pick with Bengals.
And Herman.
Yeah, I picked the Bengals in this one because I don't pick pretenders.
Stop it. You're embarrassing yourself.
You picking the Dolphins, so you picking the
We shall see.
All right. So we can get to the last game. We had the
we go through this one quick.
LA Chargers taking on the Jets. This was 27-6. Stats on this one. Justin Herbert, 16 for 30, 138 yards. Austin Eckler, 14 carries, 47 yards, 2 touchdowns. Keenan Allen, 8 receptions for 77 yards. Zach Wilson, 33 for 49, 263 yards. Bryce Hall, 16 carries for 50 yards. And Garrett Wilson, 7 catches for 80 yards, no touchdowns. I took the Jets in this one. I don't know why. I don't know why I took the Jets. I just thought they were, be motivated and come up from the high. I just knew the Jets was going to win this game against Chargers, but apparently I didn't. Chargers defense kept the Jets out of the end zone. 8 sacks, 3 turnovers, 2 from Zach Wilson himself. The Jets defense was just lifeless. One other note, Keenan Allen eclipsed the 10,000 career receiving yards.
With a beautiful catch.
Yes.
With a beautiful catch.
Hey, the last thing I want to say, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, man, I'm looking at this, I wouldn't be so quick to really want to come back yet, not with the way this offensive line is. I would be checking that out thoroughly. You better give me some offensive line help before I come back in there. That's the Jets. Herman, who's having this?
Yeah, for some reason I picked the Jets in this one too.
You did.
I don't know what the hell I was thinking, but yeah, I picked.
Did y'all not see them play the week before and barely beat the Giants?
I mean, come on, the Chargers have Kellen Moore. The Chargers have Kellen Moore, so
okay, but still, the Chargers have some type of defense too.
They do. I thought the Jets defense was going to keep them in it, which they kind of were, but the offense just totally didn't show up. So, yeah.
Marcus, who did you have in this one?
I also picked the Jets, and I know exactly why I picked it.
Where's my hat?
Hey, look, but I'm not. But I know exactly why I picked the Jets. I don't wonder why I picked the Jets at all. Brandon Staley is why I picked the Jets. and I'm going to continue.
Kellen Moore.
Hey man. Hey, Brandon Staley, I up you. Said Salah.
I'm going to continue to pick against the Chargers until Brandon Staley is gone.
Oh my God!
I took the L. It is what it is. But I know exactly why I picked the Jets, and I will pick every opponent against the Chargers this year. Okay.
Get my music, Marcus.
All right, Brian.
Get my music, Marcus.
Who'd you take?
Of course, I picked the Chargers. I don't know what my counterparts. All y'all fell off the pedestal on this one. I'm so disappointed in y'all, man. At least y'all. I mean, Justin Herbert. It should be enough to win a game against the Jets. Okay,
It is.
That's my
Brandon
thing.
Staley. Brandon Staley is why I picked this.
I'm just saying, but even Brandon Staley couldn't mess this one up, man. That joint was so boring. I went to sleep at halftime, but I picked the Chargers.
All right. How y'all do this week, fellas?
3-3.
5-1.
4-2.
4-2. How you 5-1? What game you picked wrong?
The Jets and the Chargers.
Yeah,
Wow.
the one he definitely shouldn't have picked wrong.
I don't care. I'm picking the Chargers.
All right. So we get it run real quick on the next week's games. We have first the Panthers, the 1-7 Panthers taking on the 2-7 Bears. Bears giving up 3.5 points on this one. Brian, who do you got in this?
Man, I really, really wanted to go with the Panthers to get their second win, but I don't know why. I'm going to go with the Bears just because it's at home.
I don't know. I don't know why. I'm taking the bad news Bears too. Give me the Bears. Herman.
I'm going with the Bears. This is the worst. Prime time football on Thursday nights is cursed right now. It's just cursed.
It seems like it. It seems like it.
This is terrible. Yeah, give me the Bears.
Marcus.
Yeah, this was a hard one to pick, so I just went with the whole team. I went with the Bears.
So we.
Man, I just knew I was going to lone wolf this one.
Oh, the Bears. Yeah. All right. Next game we have is the 4-5 Indianapolis Colts taking on the 2-7 New England Patriots. What's that? The Colts giving up 2 points on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take. Oh my God. I'm gonna take the Colts on this one, y'all. Give me the Colts. Herman.
I'm going with the Patriots. Bill Belichick can't lose another game right now. How many have they lost in a row?
A lot.
I don't know.
A lot.
They won't lose this one. Give me the Patriots.
I think they're on a one-game losing streak. Didn't they win the week before?
I thought they were on 2. This game is overseas.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
Is this game overseas?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, give me the Patriots.
It's so yeah, it sure is. Yeah, Patriots.
Yeah, this game's overseas in Germany, I think.
Brian, who you got?
This is really ugly. I'm going with the Patriots too. Don't ask me why. The predictor actually has the Colts winning by 52%. This is like the closest game on the predictor today. But like Herman said, I can't see Bill losing to Minshew. So,
hey, look, the only 2 games the Patriots won against the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. Remember, they lost to the Commanders.
yeah, they just lost to the Commanders.
Yeah.
Marcus, who'd you have?
I'm picking the Colts. I'm gonna tell you why. And you never thought you would say this about Bill Belichick team. Currently, they are ranked dead last in the AFC. Dead last.
And everything.
If the playoffs started today, they would be number 16. They're dead last. So I'm going with the Colts.
All right. Next game we got is the New Orleans Saints, 5-4, taking on the 5-4 Minnesota Vikings. We know
who I'm picking.
The Saints, 2.5 underdogs in this one. I'm gonna let you start us off, Herman. Who do you have?
It starts this week. Give me the Vikings. Oh!
We don't know that yet.
I'll howl now. I'll howl now.
We don't know that yet.
I don't know how you keep thinking Caillou is going to win the games in the NFL or whatever.
Who?
It's this little cartoon character.
Yeah, it's a cartoon character.
His name was Caillou. He had no eyebrows. That's who he's calling it. Look him up when you get a chance. What do you have? Marcus?
Marcus, he asked you.
So yeah, I'm definitely taking the Saints. Yeah, Vikings ain't gonna win this. Taking the Saints.
Brian.
Yeah, the predictor has the Saints winning 51%. I'm going with the Saints as well, man.
I guess it comes down to me.
Oh, I'll lose.
Herman, look like you long wolf in this one. I'm taking the
I have
Saints
no
also.
Oh, where's the sound effect?
How you hat rating next week?
Yeah, I'll make sure that my hat's ready, the right one. Y'all make sure y'all have y'all's ready.
Colorful one. You're gonna be wearing the colorful one next week.
You can wear the color one, man. All right, we got the San Francisco 49ers 5-3 taking on the 6-2 Jacksonville Jaguars. And what's that? They giving the 49ers 3 points?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Can't see the negative here.
Sorry.
I'm going to pick this one first. I think the Niners is going to take this one. I'm going to go with the Niners on this one myself. Marcus, who do you have?
Yeah, I can't see the 49ers losing 4 in a row, so I'm going to go ahead and pick the 49ers. You know, it's very possible they could lose 4 in a row, but I'm going to pick the 49ers.
Brian?
Yeah, the predictor has the Niners winning 57%. And they're coming off their bye. And aren't the Jazz just coming back from thing, or have they been back?
They've been bye.
They've been back.
Okay. Yeah, I still think like Herman said, the Jags are pretenders, so I'm going.
No, that was me. That was me.
Sorry, Mark.
Herman.
Yeah, I can't see the 49ers losing a 4th game in a row. Plus, Brock won't have as much of a concussion as he had the last couple of weeks. They let him play with a concussion.
Is Debo coming back this game? Does anybody know?
I think he's questionable.
I think he's still out.
I got him on my fantasy team. He's not marked. Is he marked out still? I have to look, but I think the 49ers will get this one. They're coming off a bye week, and the addition of Chase Young is not going to make a difference. Their defense was he's just a rotational body at this point. So give me the 49ers.
I did you right, Marcus? You straight?
Yeah, you got me.
Okay. All right. Next game we got is the New York Jets, the 4-4 Jets, taking on the 4-5 Las Vegas Raiders with their new coach. This is a must-see game.
Ask Marcus first.
Oh my gosh, Marcus. This is the Sunday nighter.
Hey, look,
Marcus, who do you have in this one?
See, here's the thing, and I had said this. If Josh McDaniels was still there, I would definitely not pick the Raiders. But since he is gone, I'm picking the Raiders. I'm picking the Raiders over the Jets. Taking the Raiders.
Herman?
I'm actually going to go with the Raiders on this one, too, because Antonio Pierce got these dudes ready to run through brick walls for him already, and they just took over. Going from Josh McDaniels to Antonio Pierce, these dudes are playing. They're going to play. They're going to play.
They feel like they're free. We free now.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a tough game, though, because the Jets defense should be able to eat this rookie quarterback alive. But I'm going with the Raiders. Because Zach Wilson ain't that much better than what the role at quarterback right now. So quarterback is a wash at this point.
Last week the Raiders beat up on a quarterback. I think it continues again against the Jets. I'm taking the Raiders too, man. Brian?
Man, we all in unison on this one, man. And with the predictor actually picking the Jets, 56%, but I don't see it. Give me the Raiders.
So we got the last game we have, the 3-5 Denver Broncos taking on Herman's 5-4.
Yeah. Let Herman go first on this one.
Herman, who are you taking in this game?
Well, I have no choice but to pick the pretender this week because
no, you do. No, you can pick Russ. You can ride with Russ.
This game is a good setup for them. This is them beating a non-winning team. So I'm going with them. So of course they're going to win this game. They're playing the Broncos, a non-winning team. I bet they won't put up 70 on the Broncos.
The Broncos beat the Chiefs.
I bet they're up 70 on the Broncos.
The Broncos beat the Chiefs.
Give me the Bills. They won't put up 70, but give me the Bills. They probably win like
Broncos
13.
Ain't nobody
beat
putting up 70.
Chiefs.
Ain't nobody putting up 70.
The Bills will probably win 13-7.
I'm gonna agree with you on this one, Herman. I'm taking the Bills on this too. Herman, I'm sorry, Brian.
Yeah, the predictor has the Bills winning the highest rate out of all the games we talked about, 79%. Let's go, Buffalo.
Bills Mafia and Marcus.
Bills Mafia, MVP candidate Josh McDaniels. Josh Allen.
Josh McDaniels.
Right.
There's too many Joshes in the NFL.
INT.
Josh Allen. All right. So that includes our predictions and our show. So we're gonna close it out with our final thoughts. Anyone you all want to start with it? Final thoughts for the week?
Nope.
No final.
I'll start. Yeah, everyone. NFL probably should look into adding pass interference as reviewable. Just that one penalty. That's on just that one. Or they should think about changing it instead of it being a spot foul. Do it like college. Is it 15 yards in college?
15 yards and automatic. Yeah.
Automatic first down, 15 yards. They might want to think about doing that. But some of this pass interference stuff is just, I don't know what these referees are honestly thinking. It's like they just interpret the rules different or something. So that's my final.
So you want to review pass interference, make the game even longer now.
Yep. It's critical. Either that or change it so there's not a spot foul, make it a 15-yard penalty. It's just you've seen too many times when they miss something that changed the outcome of the game, or they call something that changed the outcome of the game, and maybe even just under 2 minutes. How about that? Maybe even just under 2 minutes. But
what was this? Who was this? Was it USFL that did it? I liked how USFL did it. They had an overruler, an eye in the sky. That if
I would be fine with that.
If something was questionable, it went to that official, and it took all the on the field refs out of the scenario, and they made the call from upstairs. I like that. I like that,
man.
Yeah,
but
they got all these officials in with the NFL, the broadcast anyway, talking about them.
It's already there.
They got people that could do it.
So just have an eye in the sky, and they make the final call for it.
Yeah, but those officials in the broadcast booth, they're employees of the broadcast company, not the NFL.
I'm just saying there are people that can do it. They have.
But New York is watching. New York is watching. They see all the games because they're the ones that they're the ones who do the quick overturns when they see something. And it comes down from them like it was incomplete or it wasn't a fumble. It was down. They're the ones who are doing all that. So, but they got to do something because you can't continue to mess with the integrity of the game. It's
too many games. Right. Too many games are won and lost through those calls. Too many.
Yeah, exactly. So they got to do something. Something.
Hey, look at
it's not a final thought. It's not a final thought. This is like a hot topic.
We like a half an hour.
Yeah, final thought. Y'all just say your final thought.
What? I gave a final thought.
I know, but Mark keeps talking about
it. I know he ain't talking. All right, Brian. You have your final thought, Brian? Yeah. Marcus,
enjoy this Sunday.
Well, I ain't gonna enjoy this Sunday.
Take us out of here, Marcus.
Before we get out of here, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're watching on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook in our Facebook group, The Live Game. We're on Twitter /X at The Live Game 3, and on Instagram at
Never in Life
a Game. We will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace. We out.
We out.
Peace.